Kelly, we're back in the studio.
We're here.
We're here.
It's been
a long time. I literally think our last episode came out in January, and it's April while we're recording this.
Yeah, we've been busy.
We have been very busy. We're wrapping up the school year where all these events have happened, most of them, the vast majority. You have been keeping track, and I don't know how many we have left. Maybe 4?
I think we have 4.
4 left out
of 56.
56 events that we did this year. That's incredible. And this big gap was because of our 2 conferences that we did. And they both were fantastic.
We did one in Charlotte, one in Atlanta. Our first ever in Atlanta, which was so fun.
It was so fun. And it was really cool to go down and be around this group of students, because that really was student driven, that one down there.
It was.
And these 4 incredible ladies that saw our conference in Charlotte and were like, we have to bring this to Alpharetta, Georgia, Fulton County. And so they were the champions, but they really were corralling and kind of giving direction and encouragement and equipping these students.
Yeah.
And the students did a lot of work to make it happen.
Did a lot of work.
So shout out to our Alpharetta team, our CLT Atlanta team. Both events were just fantastic. But here we are. We're back in the studio. So much has happened. But today we get to interview Jack Totten. It's really cool. And we'll get into this a little bit more of the details, but a former podcast guest, Walker Somerville, his incredible story. If you haven't heard his story in the tumor,
go back and listen to that.
Yeah, that they found he was snoring or something, as this young man and his dad and he are on this trip, and he's like, what? They go check it out. Big tumor inside of his skull. Incredible story.
Yep.
But that young man, who is a senior, he's about to graduate high school, he introduced us to Jack.
We were actually at an event at one of our schools, and I remember him coming up and being like, I know who you need to have on the podcast.
Yes.
And I saw your face. You were like, who?
Tell me more. We're always looking for great people to have on. And so it's going to be really cool. I'm so pumped, as I always say. Pumped. But I am genuinely pumped that people are going to get to hear from this high school sophomore. He's been through it. It's really, really cool. His story. Diagnosed with cerebral palsy when he's really young. His mom had complications during pregnancy. And then this incredible journey of obstacle after obstacle, him overcoming.
And proving people wrong.
Which is really cool. It is really cool. You love that.
I do love that.
People wrong.
I love proving people wrong.
It's going to be great. You're going to love this episode. Check this out, our interview with Jack Totten. Well, dude, it's amazing to have you on the podcast, Jack. And it's really cool because it was through one of our previous podcast guests that we met you through Walker Somerville. And so he's like, you've got to have this guy on. He's amazing. He's overcome so much stuff. He's the coolest guy. And so he's the one that told me about you, and he introduced you and I. And and then we got to have this whole conversation. I've heard a lot about your story and all of that stuff, but tell us really quickly about how you and Walker know each other.
So me and Walker met this past school year through through other classmates in the senior class, friends I knew from Trinity Episcopal School, and friends I've met at Latin. Most notably, Webb Kaiser and Joe Jordan. Those are the 2 that Joe Jordan I met at Latin, and Webb Kaiser is a friend of mine from Trinity Episcopal School. So, and he also runs cross country and track with me.
We're going to get into that because we've heard your story. There's some cool stuff that people are going to get to hear.
And it's kind of through them that I've kind of been introduced to their social circle.
Yeah.
And then of course Walker was part of that social circle, and then we just kind of became fast friends, and then we kind of talked about then one day I just kind of spat out the bare bones of what I call my chapter 1.
Okay.
And then I think that's what prompted him to talk to you about having me on this
Yeah,
podcast.
I think he was really inspired.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, by your story and kind of learning a little bit more about you. And so we're going to get into that, your chapter 1. But before we get into your chapter 1, people listening or whatever, like, what are you, Jack Totten, what are you into right now? Because you're a sophomore in high school, is that right? So you're also the youngest, like, podcast guest we've ever had on the show. So what does a sophomore here in Charlotte, North Carolina, what do you find yourself doing? What are you into?
I mostly do. I mostly play video games.
Okay.
A lot of the time when I play video games, I record myself playing them and put them on my YouTube channel.
Okay. So you're a streamer?
It's not necessarily a
but
streamer.
Yeah, you're not streaming live. You just
I'm not
record
streaming
and edit.
live, but
Okay.
I do produce YouTube videos. The YouTube channel will be linked in the description.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to shout out your channel. You might as well. Let's grow that followership.
Blitz Studios is the name of this channel, YouTube channel.
Blitz Studios. Okay.
It's one word.
Okay.
Capital B, capital S.
Okay. Blitz Studios.
Got it.
And I've been doing this. I've been producing YouTube videos since 2019.
Okay, cool.
Which was about 2 years after I moved to Charlotte.
Okay.
Since making YouTube videos, I've gained close to 770 subscribers on.
Dude,
YouTube,
that's cool.
On my main YouTube channel. I've gained at least 100 subscribers on my at least 150 cumulative subscribers on my other 2 channels. And then there's a third channel that is simply named Blitz Prime, which is the alias I go by on the internet. And that's a fairly new channel, but primarily that's my YouTube outlet for my music production, which I've been doing, which you can find on that channel on YouTube, or you can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music.
Cool.
And I've released I've made 6 releases since August 25th, 2024.
Dude, okay. So you started this video game channel, sounds like, almost 7 years ago. This year you'll be celebrating your 7th anniversary of that gaming channel, sounds like. And now since 2024, for the past 2 years, because we're recording this in April of 2026. So over the past 2 years, you've put out 6 songs or 6 pieces of music that you've created?
Yes. 6
That's
releases. Awesome. If we're going off of exact song count, that's 8 songs.
Okay, 8 songs. Okay,
because
cool.
my latest release is a 4-song EP titled "Slip and Slide."
Okay. So what kind of music is this?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, are we talking? Or is this
genre?
rap? Is this like EDM? Is this country? Are you sing opera? Like, what's the deal? What are people going to expect? What should they expect?
EDM is kind of the parent to this genre.
The umbrella.
And then funk is kind of like the umbrella.
Okay.
It's like, or
You've made me curious.
EDM is the grandparent.
Yes.
Funk is the parent.
Okay.
And then all the subgenres that fall under that umbrella is kind of the children, I guess.
The children? Okay. You had me at funk. Now I'm really curious, like, what you mean. So we're going to check out Blitz Prime and check out your songs, your releases.
Yeah, but I don't. So primarily, that's I kind of there's a lot of my songs sound very different from each other, but they all fall under the umbrella because this funk is kind of a genre for everybody.
Okay.
Because there's more more chill. There's a more chill subgenre called synthwave, or angelcore or something like that. It has.
I won't get into it. Without getting into all the details, I will say that I do study to like synthwave beats, like instrumental synthwave study beats is what I put on in my headphones when I'm working in a Starbucks or I'm working somewhere and I'm trying not to get distracted. So I know what synthwave is. So you guys need, we'll just tell the listeners to check out this channel.
And there's also like drift funk for like when you're listening, for like something you want to listen to when taking a drive or something.
Okay.
There's something called jump style. If you want a beat that just wants to make you jump around the house or something.
Yeah, I often
and then
want to do that.
There's also and then there's also hard style, which is like full of beats that act like that's almost like a ping pong game between between Wally West Flash and Barry Allen Flash, because it's like back and forth. So it goes by so fast. It's so quick and so chaotic that it's just it's hard to like that particular subgenre because it's so chaotic.
Okay. Well, now I've gotten an education a little bit on EDM that I did not. I did things I did not know before under this umbrella. So
so if you want to check out my music or any other music, there will be a playlist, a Spotify playlist linked down below in the description. That,
you have to give us all these links.
I've curated myself of
songs that Jack Totten likes,
of songs that I like that fall under this umbrella and that kind of cater to all these different subgenres.
Okay, very cool. So if you want to know Jack better, what we're getting here is that you can go check the link in the show notes and find out what kind of music Jack's into. Mm-hmm. Also, obviously, check out Blitz Prime, your YouTube channel, and hear your solo music. So I'm kind of pumped about that. So the reason I think, and because we've had the chance to hear your story, Kellie and I have, and I think that it's pretty obvious why to us when we heard your story, why Walker was like really encouraged and kind of like inspired by you. Because, Walker has an interesting story too. And it was funny to even hear your attention to detail, I'm learning, is quite high. And that you seem to know more about what episodes like you threw out
than we did.
About our own podcast. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh yeah, Walker, I'm pretty sure was episode 14 and you already knew you were going to be episode 21. So it's just fascinating that you already know so much. But would you take us tell us a little bit about, because when we had the chance to hear your story, you talked about your mom's pregnancy and kind of complications there. And I think I would love for the listeners to be able to hear that. And so we'll talk about that. And then from there, we'll jump into, because there's these really cool pieces about after you were born and not being able to walk. And so I don't know, we'll get into all of that, but tell the listeners a little bit about your mom's pregnancy with you, because you are the oldest of 3. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So talk about, this is your mom's, first pregnancy or whatever, and they're going to be parents and all that. But what was that like?
So
from what you heard, because you don't remember any of it.
So from what I've noted down from what my mom told me earlier this weekend is that it started on Super Bowl Sunday, February 1st, 2009. My mom and dad were watching the Super Bowl in a friend's backyard or something on a flat screen TV in a friend's backyard. I was in my mom's womb and I was not, and I just stopped kicking.
Okay.
And so,
how far along? Do you know how far into her pregnancy she was at this point?
30. I was born at 34 weeks.
Okay. And is that right then? So that's 34 weeks when this happens?
Yeah, so like
Wow.
30 I was 6 weeks away from my birth.
Yes, from your due
from my
date.
intended birth date.
Yeah.
Which, if you were to look at the calendar, that would have been March 14th.
Okay, you're supposed to have been born March 14th.
So, I was born at 34 weeks, and they said I was hydrops fetalis
Okay.
was the reasoning behind my premature birth.
Okay.
I had, and that's when you have fluid in two or more organs.
Okay.
The max, I presume, is 4. I don't. So your skin, your heart, your lungs, and your stomach.
Okay.
When they were planning to take me out, the nurse said that I had this fluid in my stomach, and kind of downplayed it, and then kind of forced my mom to get a C-section.
Okay.
Like within 30 minutes from that point, and then they took me away. It was, and then it was sometime later that they told me that my mom actually found out that I had fluid in all 4 places.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I was a naturally immune cases, or like most cases are like a 50-50 shot
Of you like surviving?
surviving.
Oh wow.
But I was a severe case, which means my survival chance was 20 to 30%.
Holy cow.
So your mom hadn't had any complications during the pregnancy? It had just
Up
been just
until this
up until
point.
this point? They were just
Yeah,
everything was just fine, and then boom.
Everything was just fine. I think they don't know they have no clue what caused it.
Okay.
So they checked if there was an incompatibility between me and my mom.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't that. There were no there are a few viruses that can cause it, but none of it wasn't that wasn't the case. It was just there was no it just came out of the blue.
Okay.
And on day let me check my.
I knew that you had some notes, that you had taken some notes down.
Yeah,
I was
I'm just
curious
gonna-
what your mom, if she's told you anything about those first few days or whatever in the hospital. It's interesting, trying to figure out.
And they said that and of course the doctors said that to my mom that there was nothing that they did what they could do.
Sure.
But but choosing to live was my choice. And it was during the first 3 days of me in the NICU that I like to believe that I had a spiritual experience. So I was physically in the NICU, but what I like to think is that I was talking to God, and He was like, and I'm like, okay, it's time for me to go home, and I'm like
As an infant, like
and
3 days old, time to be done.
And God was like, no, I have a story for you for me to tell, and let me show you, and let me show you clips of that, or like pages of that story, and so He showed me like a like a movie type of
what this life could be.
of what this life could be, and most predominantly the people I impacted during my lifetime. And I would and it was and then when I agreed to, and then after that clip show was done in the spiritual in the spirit.
This exchange, this
in
conversation.
and in this exchange, I agreed to like go fight for my life, and then on day 3, that's when I started pushing fluid out of my body on my own.
Okay, yeah.
And it was, and then I kind of, but spiritually, I like to imagine that I was in a fist fight with the angel of death. And he started, and when he started, and when he started losing, it was on. He pointed he like pulled a card out, like he played a trick that in the real world happened on day 6 of me in the NICU, where I experienced SVT.
Okay, what is that? I don't know what that is.
It stands for I can't pronounce what it stands for, to be honest. But it means that my heart rate was above 200.
Oh wow! So super fast heart.
Way above.
The hummingbird hearts kind of you had going basically.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's not it happened in the middle of the night, so my mom and dad were home. This event the SVT happened to me, and then the doctors called my mom.
Okay.
And then,
this is 6 days after you're born. They've gone home. You're in the NICU. They're coming and visiting you every day or whatever, but it's the middle of the night, so they're not even there.
Yeah.
And they probably had felt positively about, oh, he's starting to like push this fluid out, like he's starting to fight for his life, and some good is starting to happen, and they're pumped. And then boom, day 6, this heart rate thing happened. So they come rushing back to the hospital.
Yes, pretty much. And it's that, and so they start. So that's, that's what happens, and then, so that's like after my first, and then that's towards the end of my first week.
So obviously they got your heart rate back down. You're doing okay.
Of course, they started me on a medication to get my heart rate down. And then fast forward to day 12, Dad was holding me in his arms. My mom was signing the discharge papers.
Oh, you were ready to go.
The machine, and then all of a sudden, in my fist fight with death.
You're back fighting death again?
No, spiritually,
yeah.
The fist fight with death was concurrent throughout the entire thing.
Oh, okay.
So, but on day 12, he basically did the same trick, SVT.
Oh, so your heart rate goes way up again while they're ready to take you home.
Yeah, and it was this time my mom actually knew the exact heart rate, estimated to be 228 BPM.
Oh wow!
So I believe that was higher than last time. So so they take me in, and then I'm fighting death for 3 more Earth days basically.
Okay.
And then on day 50 during those between day 12 and day 15, they put me in this like baby bed thing, and put an ice bag on my head, because that's a form of that's a form of treatment for this idea.
Okay.
And they put me on a different medication. The medication didn't work, so they asked my mom to come back inside, because when I was taken from her again, she just went outside to catch her breath and just try and calm herself down.
Yeah.
And it's, what's super soothing to a baby? It's their mother's voice. So they literally asked my mother to sing to me, and that managed to get my heart rate down. And then
I love that.
And then that's when I defeated. And then that's when. And then by day 15, death had declared defeat.
Dude, what a beautiful, cool thing. So your mom's in there singing to you, soothing you, basically. You've been hearing her voice in utero for all these months, hearing it again. Your heart rate starts coming down. And and then you're pretty solid from that point on. So then they got to finally bring you home after 15 days in NICU. Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, after 15 days. They did an MRI on my brain, and they said that I was perfectly clean.
Okay.
So, and of course, as I got older, as my first year of life went on, I was not hitting the developmental checkpoints, which means like I wasn't sitting up or crawling over or or stuff like that. When other babies would, unfortunately, so that's when, and of course it's common for premature boys to take a little bit more time.
Sure.
But this was a different case because at 10 months of age, my mom had me tested, and that's when I was proven to have CP.
Okay. So tell everybody who's listening, what is CP?
CP stands for cerebral palsy.
Okay.
And that means when you have a form of brain damage that prohibits certain movements within your body.
Okay.
And that's kind of, and so after I was diagnosed with that, Mom and Dad took me down to San Diego to a doctor that was highly regarded as the best neurological scientist or doctor in the state, or just one of the best.
Okay. Yeah.
And he said we did a reread, and he said, and he showed us the blatant and obvious and brain damage on the back of my brain.
Okay.
And the other doctors, of course, either put the wrong notes on the wrong MRI or just blatantly, or just plainly, misread it. So with that knowledge, the doctor gave my parents a prognosis, or just an idea that I could learn to walk, but I could never run.
Knowing your story, you'll understand why Jack is giggling a little bit right here. When we get to this next, we're gonna get to it.
So
it's really cool.
I'm just gonna pull up my notes real quick. So we decided to let you take the lead and see what you can do.
Oh, this is your mom talking.
So this is my mom.
Yeah, because you're like under a year old. You don't remember any of this.
So this is my mom, quote unquote, talking.
Yeah.
So my parents decided to let me take the lead on this one.
Okay. I love this part of your story, by the way. If you're about to say what I think you're about to say, because here you are.
We got to go to physical therapy and just do as much as that as possible. So we started. So at this time, for my first 8 years of life, through Christmas of 2017, I lived in LA. So we would go to Northern California. We would go north of LA, called every few months for intensive therapy at the Anat Benio method.
Okay.
And this is a neuroplastic therapy that trains the brain to create new neural pathways
Okay, so a
around the brain
specific type
dynamics.
of therapy. Okay, very cool. So you started doing that before you were even 1 year old, or is that right? And then did that all the way up through you were 8?
No, I was in. I think that was like my first 3 years of.
Oh, okay, got it.
I mean, it was my first. I think my first 1 or 2 years. I think I stopped doing that particularly at around 2.
Okay.
Because I was like wearing. So, but at that therapy center, I would go up there every few months for 5 days at a time and do therapy twice a day for like hours upon hours.
Wow.
Sometimes I would sometimes I would literally cry. Sometimes
I would think. How old are you talking about at this point?
Like 2 years
You're
old.
still 2 years old? You're talking about really young?
under.
like between 1 and 2 years old.
Yeah, of course you would cry. My gosh. Like,
And
doing all the stuff you don't want to do.
And sometimes I would call it, and sometimes I would come home feeling just fine. But like I would be wearing a harness, and I would be on a treadmill.
Okay.
And they would manually maneuver my legs to
in
create
a walking motion.
In a walking motion to create that.
The pathways you were talking about,
To
those
create
neural
that
pathways.
pathway
Got
so
it.
that I could learn to walk. Of course, and shortly after that, I went to then. I went. We also I also started going to physical therapy at the Napa Center.
Okay.
Where you did that, or the Napa Center is when I did therapy for a few times a week, and then of course therapy in the suit I was wearing was a TheraSuit.
Okay.
So
I love how much you love all these details. He does. You love all the details.
it connected different parts of my body and also connected to a cage that supported my body up so that I could. So it was kind of like a VR walking
Oh yeah. So I'm
simulator.
imagining. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of picturing. Like supporting your body weight, your limbs are getting used to, your legs are getting used to this walking motion.
That's when I was learning to walk on via the treadmill.
Yeah.
And then that was and then between 2 and 3 years old, I would always walk around the house talking like using the wall or the or like some form
Holding
of
these things and holding on and walking on.
holding on to something and to support myself.
Sure.
And Maeve is what inspired me to take my first independent steps.
Okay, talk about who's Maeve.
Who's Maeve?
So Maeve is my is the second of 3 children my mom is blessed to have.
So this is your little sister, but the middle of the 3 siblings. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so Maeve. She's born how long after you were born?
November 28th, 2011.
Okay.
I'm just
There's
gonna-
Maeve's
2
birthday if
years.
you wanted to throw it out there, but 2 years. So
Roughly
2 years later, she's born. And were there any complications with Maeve's pregnancy, like with your mom's pregnancy with her?
No. The same. Maeve and Ayla were born the same method as C-section.
Okay,
There was no complications. There's no
Okay.
complications.
Okay.
Ayla is the youngest of 3, by the way.
Okay.
But
Maeve starts, she's
she's walking just basically fall of that year.
okay.
And I'm looking at her,
Yeah.
seeing her walk independently, and I'm like, okay. So I go in front of the TV, living room TV, holding myself up on the desk, the table thing underneath the
Entertainment center or whatever.
The entertainment center. And then I basically carefully turn myself towards the ottoman, and I just walk independently, and I'm like,
Do you? I mean, because you're still really young.
And when I reach that, I'm extremely ecstatic.
Oh, no kidding.
Because and so are my parents, because
I was
I
thinking
can walk now.
That's
I'm
amazing.
literally
I can walk
thinking,
now.
through your mom's point.
I know, yes. So both Kellie and I have kids. So I have adult children, and Kellie still has her boys who are younger. But yeah, you've experienced that recently. The excitement when your kids start walking, and then to know that you've been working so hard.
You're working so hard.
Yeah. What is it? What do you think when you hear that? Like,
I don't know.
Describe that.
It's really cool that your younger sister like that kind of pushed you into like, well, if she can do it, I can do it too,
right,
which is cool all on its own.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine what it felt like to be your mom, like watching all of this time and all of these resources and all of these things finally kind of come to a place where now you're walking independently. Like, I can only imagine what that felt like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can
sweet.
It feels good right now for me.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I can only imagine what that feeling too.
Your dad.
I mean, I'm a
I'm
my
worried about your mom.
my dad. I don't know what my dad was up to at that point, but he wasn't home, so I just like.
Yeah.
I didn't. So my dad didn't see me take independent steps.
Those very first ones, right?
Those very first ones, at least. But it's kind of, and I do have. When my YouTube channel was initially created, it was to post videos of young
that makes sense.
baby me,
so
that my parents, so that my grandparents can see me.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Post them online
So
because you guys are in California. Where are your grandparents at this point?
My grandparents are
like in this story. Where were they living while you guys were out there?
San Diego.
Okay,
they
so
lived
just
in
way
San,
south.
and they
Okay.
still do.
Okay,
to this day.
So they're living a little bit south of you, not there to see it. So we're gonna post them. You can go on these links, and then you can watch.
Yes.
Yeah, your grandson walk.
So and when I took the channel for my personal uses in 2019,
yeah.
I left those videos.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because
that's cool.
Because I want people to know that the person that they are watching entertain themselves, that they are watching for entertainment. These videos are snapshots of where that story began.
I love that.
That's really cool.
That is really cool.
That was smart of you.
Yeah, I love that you still have those up there. That's really cool.
And you can pull up and you can have
Yeah,
your
we can
edit.
go.
Yeah,
We
that's
can
right.
go see Baby Jack.
We can't.
You can pull up an overlay.
Oh, you like when we do this episode, like we could have the overlay? Is that what you mean? Like right now, while we're talking, there's pictures of you, like this montage of you as a child going through your therapies and walking and all that stuff.
I think you can have that there as I talk about the therapy, but
that's right, dude. I love it. Let's promote this channel. Let's get this thing going.
Anyways, that's just kind of that's just kind of
the way the story started.
That's just the way the story started. So
so you're told like you might walk but you'll never run, but that changed pretty quickly. That's why we were kind of laughing earlier when you said that. Talk about when did you start running? Because you did.
I don't have an exact date, but but there was a time in kindergarten where we would have fun, the kids would run laps around the field.
Okay.
And there was a time when I ran 3 laps. I don't know how many the other kids ran.
Right.
But in relative to me, but to be honest, but regardless, I just proved the doctor's claim that I would never run.
Yeah. Proved him wrong.
And I never really ran that much at all competitively. And
okay.
Not even for fun or for competitive reasons at all. until about fourth and fifth grade. Where
Hang on, that's just a funny statement because I certainly never ran competitively before third or fourth grade either. Like, it's
Or
like, that's funny. Yeah. Or after.
To be honest.
But that's so you're like, I just kind of was running for fun, kindergarten, ran some extra laps, whatever, didn't run competitively until about fourth grade. So that's
kind of,
that's a funny thing to say.
Yeah. Like sometimes I like to say things that are obvious.
No, that's
but
what
I like to make people laugh.
It made me laugh.
It's just,
so you were a late bloomer. You didn't start competitive running until fourth grade. Just kidding. But you joined this club. Talk about, so there's this club or whatever at your school that you started running.
So yes, So Trinity Episcopal School had this program called Let Me Run.
Okay.
And it was for third, fourth, and fifth graders.
Okay.
And I participated during fourth and fifth grade. So you would just, the goal was to, prep yourself for a fun 5K at the end of the fall season.
Okay.
Or the fall trimester, because Trinity Episcopal School likes being different because it does.
I love it. Again, back to the details.
It splits its school year into three instead of two.
Yeah, got it.
But it's just
So really quickly, you jump into this club, third grade. You've probably noticed, because this isn't necessarily probably as easy for you having cerebral palsy as it is for these other students that are running and stuff. Can you remember back what you were thinking or feeling, or did you just like, I don't care that, I have cerebral palsy and it's maybe
I like to run.
I just like to run. Like, so are you feeling it? Do you remember any of the feelings about that or any?
When we were doing the workouts, I would mostly walk.
Okay.
I would run what my tank could suffice, and then I would walk the rest.
That sounds like me.
But
that's what I do.
But it was really because at that point I didn't really condition myself to handle running that well with cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
And this, and of course the 5K was the worst part.
Yeah. So you end up doing the 5K at the end in the fall or whatever. In elementary school, and this is, you said, fourth grade.
Fourth and fifth grade.
Wow. Okay.
I did it twice.
Dude, that's amazing. Okay.
It's my dad. The tradition is to have a parent run with you.
Okay.
So my dad was running with me, and I was like, "Oh, this is ridiculous." So
you were in better shape than your dad? Is that what you mean?
No, I wasn't in better shape than my dad, but the reason why my train of thought was like that is because this was so painful that I did not want to do it I didn't want to do it again.
Oh, so you're the one that was saying this is ridiculous, or your dad was? Who said this is ridiculous?
I didn't say it out loud. I just thought.
Oh, this is your internal.
This
dialogue.
It's like a very internal dialogue.
Okay, this is ridiculous. Okay, I thought that was what your dad was saying. The way you'd said it. Okay, that's hilarious.
But yeah, the way I said it would definitely be something my dad would say. To be honest.
That's gold.
Anyways,
so now here you are. You're in high school, and the reason I bring it up is because here you are, this 10th grader. And then tell the story, because now you are running cross country for your high school.
Yeah. My love for running was rebirthed in my 8th grade school year because during 6th and 7th grade, I didn't run.
Well, because you'd run the 5K in 5th grade, and you're like, this is ridiculous. I don't need to do that anymore.
And because I didn't do a fall or spring sport.
Okay.
I all I did was just I did basketball in the winter.
Oh, okay. So you are doing a sport. So you're playing sport,
Yeah, but I was
which involves a lot of running. I might add. Basketball is like constant.
But I
running.
was, but during my 6th and 7th, during those seasons, I was mostly on the bench.
Oh, okay.
I was when I did the season I played basketball the most was my 8th grade season.
Okay.
Which was after my 8th grade cross country season, which was my first cross country season, my first exposure to the cross country sport. Of course, and that season in basketball was the most was the greatest blessing to all my friends and the coach, because not only did I start building the brotherhood that I loved loved hanging out with, just the friend group that I loved, and which kind of helped the team be a team.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it was the first and most recent, laughably, instance of my coaches receiving the tournament champion basketball trophy.
Aw,
So your
there you
team
go.
won the championship that at the tournament that season.
Yes,
That's really cool.
That is really cool.
and
So it sounds like you guys were a tight group. Like you had a great deal. Like the community on this team was really good.
yeah, that's
The culture.
I kind of whenever I was congratulated, I would be like, no, it's my team. It's a team effort. It's a team effort.
Love it.
And to be honest, but I also kind of have this inner ego kind of claim, egotistical type of claim, because like if I wasn't there, would it have would that outcome have happened?
Interesting. So you think basically you're the reason they won the championship.
I like if you want to phrase it that way, yes.
Dude, that's gold. I hope your teammates hear this. I
know, I
hope that's
hope
going to
they
be
do.
so funny. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good.
Yeah, I think it's the bond.
Sure.
That
They probably rallied around you guys.
It's the bond that brought us to the championship.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's me who built that bond.
Love
so
it. So they rallied around you. You feel like you were like a glue that really helped create the culture on that team.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense to me. I totally get that.
And yeah, and I opted not to do basketball in high school.
Okay.
Because both this year and my freshman year, because doing 3 sports and
man.
the work
that's
and
a
the
lot.
workload on top of the workload is a little bit more. It's a little bit too overwhelming for me, because of my hindrances with with my capabilities to stay focused,
Mm-hmm.
and just also my coordination, and it's also. And basketball is also a cut sport. It's also a cut sport, which
athletes
means
get cut.
which
Yep.
means
Tryouts.
if I had tried out, I would have most definitely been cut because of my inability for my lack of hand-eye coordination.
Sure.
And with the whole, and also my inability to like actually shield the ball from an enemy
Oh yeah,
player.
yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
The game just gets faster and more complicated. Like most sports, it gets pretty crazy. However, cross country this
Yeah.
season, talk about
That's
this.
where you're going.
Yeah.
So yes, the most recent season. I'm always running my best. It's I always try that.
Love it.
And I think it was the third meet that it was the Hare and Hounds Invitational. My coach had set pacers for other players.
Okay.
So the meet prior to the Hare and Hounds Invitational, or no, not the Hare and Hounds Invitational. It was the so the first meet of the season, I was 38:45-ish.
Okay.
38 minutes 45.
And how far,
seconds.
real quick, for people listening,
Yeah,
how
how far
far
is
is a course for a high school cross country meet?
5K.
Okay, so it's 3.1 miles, and you're running. You said, what was it?
38 minutes 45 seconds.
Okay. Still, that's fantastic. Just
Yeah,
for people
it is.
listening, like that's a great time. And then for someone with cerebral palsy to be running it, you know what I mean? Like what a cool thing.
And so the pace, the second meet of the season, that's when Coach Weiss put in pacers for other teammates. Jack Bononis was my pacer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Dude, I love, number one, how you throw out people's first and last names. I mean, so many people get shout outs. Secondly, really quickly for people listening, and correct me if I'm wrong, a pacer is somebody who's going to come in and they're going to run at a certain pace to help runners recognize whether they are keeping up with the speed at which they want to be.
Yes.
Running or not. Because for people who don't run, you can accidentally go out in a race too fast, too early, and have no gas at the end, or you can be trying to like hold back and you're holding back too much, and then at the end of the race you have too much left in the tank and you're like, dang, I should have gone faster.
That's the common thing when that's the main problem with you kind of, so like your mind, it's a mind game.
Yeah.
So your mind thinks that you're done until you're so it kind of not, so you don't realize you're holding back until you see that you're so close to the finish line and then you burst.
Yeah.
That's you have to find a way to overcome that so that you're either going that burst speed the entire time.
Yeah.
Or know how to manage your time so that your tank is naturally empty by the time
you hit that finish line. You don't want anything left. Yeah, exactly.
You don't want anything left.
So this pacer goes out. Coach set this pacer. Back to your story.
So yes, back the pacer. My end of season goal was 35 minutes.
So you were running a 38, and now you want 35. So you want to cut 3.5 minutes from your time
by the end
of season.
By the end of season.
Okay, and how many meets are there in a season generally?
About 10.
Okay, so this is second race, right? Am I understanding that right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I had 8 attempts to do this.
Yes. You had a bunch of tries left after this, but he puts the pacer in for you. Talk to me.
But the funny thing is, Jack wasn't pacing me to get a naturally expected PR.
Okay.
He was pacing me for my end of season goal.
So he didn't know. This is by end of
Yeah.
season. Coach just said, you need to run a 35. Jack's going to stick with you. And so he's out there doing what he thinks he's been told to do. And you're tracking this guy thinking that he's just trying to help you get inch up on your PR a little bit. Maybe run like a 38 this time or something. Is that,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. You're not thinking he's pacing you on a 35.
Yeah, so like that was like, and then I crossed the finish line at a 35:30. So I'm like,
Dude, let's go.
like what the heck? Like, and then
And how did you feel?
Yeah, how did that feel?
it didn't feel. like, and what was surprising to me was because I didn't feel burnt out at all.
That's crazy.
I felt it felt hard, sure, but like it didn't feel like I was overexerting myself.
Yeah.
Which that's what makes that more surprising than the actual time.
Sure.
It's
Dude, that's incredible. And again, to knock 3 minutes off of a time is in running like a race like that is just
that's insane.
unheard of.
Yeah.
It's like way to go, man. That's really cool. What an accomplishment.
I got recognized as Charlotte Observer Athlete of the Week for that.
Let's go.
Or I was nominated for that.
Yeah.
And I had and then I hired some very good people helping me, like voting like crazy.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because
to actually earn the award.
The award, yeah.
So that article will also be in the show link. So,
I love it. So you have to send me all these links so we can make sure to put them in the show notes because you're promising a lot of things in these show notes, and I want to make sure they're in there.
I emailed you.
Okay.
When
we already did.
Okay. Got it.
I emailed you last time we talked about this.
Okay. Very cool.
Just so that you would have it.
Sure.
But of course, and then Hare and Hounds, I PR'd again by 30 seconds.
So you hit your 35?
I'm like 34:55 or something.
Whoa.
And the Hare and Hound was the third?
Third, yeah.
So you're like, man, now I have 7 more events. So what did you get a PR?
Yeah,
what was your
end
of season time down to?
Well, that's when my PR luck struck out.
So 34:55.
So was that your PR for the season? Was 34:55?
Yep.
Dude, that's an incredible time. Way to freaking go.
Good.
And
nicely done.
And that's the second time that I shaved off 3 minutes off of race time in a calendar year, because my freshman track and field season, the first meet I went in, I was going in to the mile with a 13-minute personal record.
Okay.
And I ran 10 and a half that
on
meet.
your mile time. That's
and
awesome.
then I kept going. I kept going, and then by the end of track season, I was 9:58. That track season, I was 9:58. I'm sure if you follow Charlotte Latin Track and Field on Instagram, you've heard this information surface. But my most recent PR was at the Providence Day meet of this past of this concurrent track and field season, where I got my pace down to 9:22.
Nice, dude.
I have
9:22 mile.
And I have yet to break that.
Okay, well, yeah, and the word is yet.
Yet.
I love that. Dude, I love that, man. What a story. Like the fact from the beginning, like this really tough beginning to your story in physical therapy and your sister inspiring you, and then just getting into running and basketball and continuing to push yourself, even though it's difficult, all the way to this, pushing yourself through cross country season, moving into track season, getting your mile time down. So, man, as we kind of wrap up this last little bit right here, what's next? Like, what's next for Jack Totten? Because here it is, it's April, school's coming to a close, you're a rising junior, like this, when you come back to school next fall, you'll be a junior.
Wow.
So what's next?
I think it's, well, I mean, what's next is to just, celebrate some family friends and just because and just spend time with family. It's just take it one step at a time because there's there's an idea that because I have an idea of because it's just that's just where I'm going.
I love it.
And it's just
I mean, so you have.
I love telling stories like this.
No, man. Well, it's a cool story, and it's your story, and so it's really, really cool. And I love thinking about. There's a couple things that I love. I love thinking about you sitting down with your parents and actually talking through, and you getting all these details around what those first few years of your life are like. Like that's a really cool thing. Mm-hmm. Your parents getting a chance to relive and kind of relay to you these benchmarks. So they watch you and all these things they watched you overcome and all these things that they had the chance to celebrate as you were growing up. But here you are, you're about to be a high school junior as you finish this school year. Do you plan on running again as a junior? Are you going to continue to do cross country and track? And do you have another PR in your head that you're thinking you want to hit next season?
Next cross country season?
Yeah.
Just beat the one I have, I guess. To start.
Yeah. It's a good goal.
That's a great one.
Yeah, it's
okay.
But first, I have to make my way home. To I may make my way back to LA as the summer starts to celebrate some some of my oldest friends.
I love that. Cool. So you guys going to travel back to LA or back to California this summer? And that's awesome.
My friends Ava and Max are graduating high school this year.
Oh no way!
So
that's awesome.
So my mom figured out the date for their graduation, and I'm gonna be there that week.
Dude, I love it.
So,
I love it.
So fun.
So Ava and Max, if you're listening, I hope we're not ruining a surprise, but your boy Jack Totten is coming out to celebrate your graduation. That's really cool.
I honestly don't. Parents are terrible at keeping secrets, to be honest. Because regardless if I say it here today, or or they find out when I'm taking a run on the boardwalk, or they cross paths with me on the boardwalk when I'm taking a run or something. They're gonna know before I get there anyway.
Okay.
Because
Got it.
I
awesome.
just because it's out there now. And,
yeah, it is. It's
and
out
now
there.
That's all right.
And now
On the World Wide Web.
I know I'm gonna have to pressure my parents to buy a flight because
Now you've said it. It's out. Yeah, now it's an expectation.
Now it's an expectation.
Well, Jack, dude, thanks so much for coming on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations on all that you have overcome, and I cannot wait to see these barriers that you continue to break. And I don't know, man. I think the confidence that you exude, the kindness that you show other people, your desire to make spaces better and to inspire others, it's a beautiful thing. And I appreciate you coming on the podcast and sharing it with our listeners. Really cool.
Yeah. I just like to. I just like to thank my parents, Mom, Dad, Maeve, Ayla, Ava, Max, Trip. You guys are probably the biggest inspirations I have for doing the things that I've done and will continue to do, because you guys are you guys are the greatest examples of what a family can be. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's you guys are all family to me, and that will never change. It's there's whether that's by blood or by spirit. It's that'll never change.
Love it.
It's awesome.
All right. You heard it here. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for being on, Jack.